Hey guys, welcome back to Front Wing Damage, FWD. This episode will be brought to you by Aditya Swaminathan and Siddharth Atmaram.
Hey guys, we're finally back for another episode of Fronting Damage. Well, why did it take so long? Explanation to our absence. Siddharth will explain that.
Bro, little busy, bro.
Yeah,
Scenes. I've not been the most free man out here. Full war marks I have all around here. Been fighting my marks. Been fighting the books, the pens. So it's not been the easiest of couple of weeks. But yeah, I mean, keeping up the intensity that we kept up always didn't seem plausible for this season as well.
Yeah, plus there's like an endless number of races and it just seems
Exactly.
boring. Like
It seemed pointless. I mean, think about it.
Yeah,
it's kind of pointless.
almost
22
every race
episodes.
had the same storyline. And
Exactly.
there was not much to
The same storyline. Ferrari screwing up, Red Bull winning. But yeah.
So yeah, we decided
but on a whole.
Yeah. So we decided. It's been such a long time that we're so not used to this. But yeah, so as I was saying, we decided to change up the format a bit. Make it like a podcast every 3 races or so, or 2 races, just to explain what's going on, keep up with the news and just keep it light and keep it fresh, basically. And hopefully on Instagram, we post a quick race review after every race, like a minute. We're trialing that format. I can't guarantee anything, but like, hopefully that's a success and can launch us into like fame or whatever. That's the aim. That's the goal. So yeah. Without further ado, let's get started.
Yeah, I mean, it's almost the middle of the season, and one thing that
halfway mark last race, right? If I'm not wrong.
No, it's this race which is the halfway mark.
Oh, okay.
So we're at the middle of the season, and the one thing in general, if you look at history, the one thing that propels teams towards probably reaching their goals and ambitions in general is updates. Now you bring in a certain car like this, and the only thing that, I mean, if you run the same thing over and over again, there's no improvement in general. But I mean, as teams run races, they see certain areas where they feel can improve in general. So what do? They add something else extra here. They add another thing extra here.
Nice downforce element there. A pen.
But yeah, so teams try to implement things that they feel that the car lacked from the beginning of the season. Take for example something for random like Red Bull. They wanted to have more, it reduces scrubbing of their speed around slow speed corners or medium speed corners. Ferrari wanted more horsepower down the straight. McLaren wanted better, they didn't want their car to overheat in general. Aston Martin just wanted to do better.
Just not be a boat, like.
Exactly. Alpine wanted more, again, downforce in general. Haas on overall, again, they did seem all right.
They just needed to be more consistent.
Overall, again, in the,
they just needed to
be consistent. The car was actually quite decent. Alfa Romeo as well, quite decent. It just seemed like during the slow speed corners, they just lost a lot of time. Williams, they got a big update which has worked, which is again their straight line speed update, plus at the same time their high speed corner update. Am I missing any other team? No.
I guess not. No,
okay.
We covered a lot.
Okay, so we've covered more or less everything. So each team has tried to implement some of the other element within their car to see whether it works or not. And it costs a lot. It's not like it comes for free. And these updates have to click because there's the budget cap from this season onwards. So if you put an element into the car which doesn't work, you've just spent money on the car slowing down or being the same. So it takes a lot of effort and I guess big judgment to know what update to put in which car. The biggest winners so far have been Mercedes. Their updates have worked big time and has actually put them in the mix. Like today, Russell and Hamilton ahead of Perez.
Yeah, for context, today is the French Grand Prix. Just for context.
Today is the French Grand Prix. So Hamilton, Russell ahead of Perez. And it's not like they lack a lot of speed in general. It's not like they were the same train as before. So Mercedes have won out big time. I would also say McLaren and Alpine have pushed the gap, the deficit that they had to the top teams. Aston Martin brought a big update, but it doesn't seem to have been clicking as much as they would have wanted to do. So they're still in the bottom pile of the midfield in general. Alpha Tauri, big failures. They haven't. They're basically the second worst or third. They compete with Aston Martin for the second or third worst car in the grid. Williams, as I said, big improvement. Probably the race did not show it because it was the first race of the update, but free practice. Alex Albon's highest position was P6 in free practice in FP2. So it shows that there is certain element of pace within that update, but it doesn't seem to be, they've not trimmed it for the race in general for now. And Haas, as I said, Haas and Alfa Romeo haven't brought big updates. They just brought a few end plate updates or a few slight bargeboard updates and things like that. So in general, they seem to be saving it for Hungary so that they can work out things during the winter break in general. So taking, for example, the update race, I feel the biggest winners have been Mercedes, and the biggest losers is a joint award. Two teams win the losers. That is Alpha Tauri and Aston Martin. And I would say the teams which have more or less remained stagnant in terms of pace is Ferrari, Red Bull, and also say Haas and Alfa Romeo. These four teams have almost stayed stagnant. Mercedes, as I said, big. I mean, the car is not doing DJ night. It's not DJ night for the pilots anymore in the cockpit. It was so disappointing to see that, but yeah. So in general, the update race, it does seem to be in full steam right now. Hopefully, after the winter break, it's not like any team
summer
has.
break. Summer, man.
Sorry, my bad. Summer break. It's not like one of the two teams of Red Bull or Ferrari, just outclass one of each other in general. Take for example 2018 when Mercedes absolutely outclassed Ferrari. So hopefully such a thing doesn't happen. It does seem pretty close again. But yeah, looking forward to Alpha Tauri's and Haas's upgrades because Alpha Tauri, I don't know if this is Haas's pace without any major updates so far. I'm excited to see their actual updates.
Yeah, exactly.
Because we both predicted them to have absolutely no pace now because we only expected them to have the beginning of the season pace.
And
but
then
it seems like
so basically, I don't know if you guys remember, but our prediction was that Haas would basically end up where they would end up sort of like the third worst team, second worst team, because the other teams would have figured out the rule changes and the setups and whatnot to go along with that. And Haas would not have the resource to compete with that. And to some extent, it was true. But then over the last few races, they've had a resurgence. Magnussen's been getting points. Schumacher's been getting points. Obviously, today was a colossal screw up. Due to just like multiple factors, Magnussen starting in the back. But then his pace in qualifying and practice is something that is very encouraging. He got into Q3 pretty easily. Like that Q2 lap was that Q2 lap was just like ease, man. All he needed was one lap. So the signs are encouraging. But I would like to see them again. They're a midfield team with they're a midfield team with completely midfield personnel, and that means the results could be quite inconsistent. But once the team gets past that phase of inconsistency, I think it's going to be pretty good. And I'm a Haas fan personally. Like, who could hate the Star Spangled Banner outfit? So yeah, I just can't wait to see them get under the machine and fully understand it. And hopefully the upgrades don't backfire because there's a high chance of that as well.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, the update race does seem pretty clear now that certain teams
something about the Mercedes as well. You said they're the biggest winners. One thing I've noticed is that qualifying is horrendous. Qualifying is
absolutely. It is so bad. I'm not kidding, man. They're like 1.5, 2 seconds behind the top runners.
Yeah, so exactly. But in the race, they're able to preserve the tires and Yeah, just hold
Yeah, but
hold it out.
yeah, maybe because I mean, look, I mean, I saw Lewis Hamilton's onboard of the French Grand Prix qualifying, and into certain corners, you can just see the car understeering big time. It's not turning with him,
That's
and
not,
that's
and
probably
that's a weird thing because in a low fuel setup, the car is lighter and therefore it could turn easier. And to see
it
understeer in a
should no
low,
more no. If nothing, it should tend to oversteer rather than
yeah,
understeer.
exactly. It's because there's lesser fuel, it's easier to
Exactly.
turn because it's lighter and there's less things to move in the car, like to put it in like layman's terms. So the whole car should basically, just be easy to move around and stuff. But when you get understeer in a quali lap with low fuel, that means there's something fundamentally wrong with. I think it's the tires. They have not been able to get the tires to work for that one lap.
Probably the
Not
camber and everything, right?
Yeah, it's not exactly the aero or the chassis. It's more on, like, I mean, obviously the chassis is related, but then it's more to do with the tires, like to get the tires working in the right conditions in the optimum range. I think that's what they're struggling. But through the race, they're able to keep the tire life and performance consistent throughout. I think they're even more consistent than the Red Bulls and the Ferraris. Even though their pace is
100%.
slightly slower, their tire life, that's
Yeah.
the reason they were this quick today, because today was all about tire life and tire performance.
More
They
than
were able
today,
to
look at
keep it.
Silverstone. Hamilton was the quickest driver on track. He was
Yeah,
by far the quickest, and he was
on
actually threatening
average.
for that
It was not.
P1.
It's
Yeah,
not like he
exactly.
sets the fastest lap, but on average, when okay, so other drivers' tire graph goes pretty much like this. Okay, like this. Okay,
Yeah,
uh, Hamilton's Mercedes tire graph goes like this. It's just a slight dip. It's like,
yeah, exactly. Perfectly said. It's very impressive, but it doesn't make a lot of difference because they're qualifying in some P20 position. So what difference does it make to them?
yeah. I mean, they're
I
gonna
mean,
finish
I'm
fifth, sixth
exaggerating,
every
but I'm
race.
just saying.
Yeah, fifth, sixth, pretty much every race. That's why George Russell's
Yeah,
got those top fives. Like, there's no one to challenge that P5 position. And when they're lucky, if there's some, if Red Bull and Ferrari
if
mess up,
Ferrari works the way they work,
they get a podium. So I mean, what they can't complain much, can they?
yeah, exactly, 100%. But yeah, let's move on to
Yeah,
the.
yeah.
I think we covered this well. Let's move on to the next thing.
Tell that.
So we'll talk about the Ferrari versus Red Bull scenario right now. I mean, we've
I
gone
think
into
it's
a
just.
new
I think.
phase.
I think Red Bull are just Red Bull. They know what to do. They've won a championship already in the past
Yeah.
year. Ferrari. All I can do is laugh
Oh
at this point. They're an
oh
absolute joke. Like, I mean, okay, engine blowing up and stuff. I can take pity, but their strategy calls
no,
okay.
you can't. You can't. That is fundamentally, bro.
I
Fine.
mean,
If
okay,
some
yeah.
if
I mean,
some
an engine
part, no,
blowing up
listen.
like that. I mean, an
That's
engine.
what I'm saying. If some part breaks here and there, fine, then okay. But the whole engine is a fail. The only thing that propels the car to move forward is not
Yeah,
moving. It's not making the
and
car
it
move
came
forward.
at the worst time. It came just as Sainz was going to make the pass on Max to make it a 1-2.
Exactly. And then Spain, Azerbaijan.
Yeah.
I don't get that car. It seems quick, but it also seems like it's
I don't
like
get
just
the.
waiting for
I
it to
don't. I
blow
don't
up.
get Ferrari. Like, I
No,
just don't.
Satan is in the engine. Satan, my boy Satan is in the engine. Out of nowhere, my man was just like, "Poof, guess who's back, my boys? Engine blow out here. You know how we do." No, I'm not even kidding. That's how unpredictable that engine is, and it's
Yeah.
disappointing to see that. Leclerc should have had. I mean, I may sound it may be too early, but I think Leclerc should have had a better fit in the championship. I think it's more or less lost
It's
at this
lost. It's
point, and
lost.
yeah,
It's
and that's why his
if it's gonna happen
very
today, if it's gonna happen today, it'll happen 2 races from now,
wait.
3 races from now.
I don't know if you can. Are you putting the audio of his screaming?
I'll edit it in. Don't worry, you don't need
Okay,
to
let me try. Wait, let me just let me try playing it to the. I'm wearing an earphone, so
Yeah.
wait.
Try replicating it. Try replicating.
So that Huh?
That's cream.
Yeah, that scream just shows the frustration.
Yeah. Okay.
It's
Wait. I need your best impression of that scream. Okay.
bro.
Okay. 3, 2, 1. No, that was a cow, man. That was a cow. What was that? It was like a cow dying. You were like,
Nah, man, I can't do it.
that was the scream.
Why? He's not saying. He's like no. It's
No,
more like
that was
moo.
the scream. Yeah.
Nah, but it is really sad to see the point of frustration that it is reached right now for Charles
I mean,
Leclerc.
but this one was Leclerc's fault. Like he admitted it himself.
Yeah, no, I'm just saying. So the Ferrari v Red Bull fight isn't a fight anymore. It is more or
No,
less.
it is Ferrari fighting with themselves. It's not.
Oh
Really.
yeah, it's Ferrari versus Ferrari.
Yeah.
It's Red Bull versus no one at this point. So it's Ferrari versus Ferrari. Who comes on top? Does the Ferrari engine come on top? Does the brakes come on top? Who comes on top? It's a fight every race.
I think the brakes come out of the car. They just pop off next to it. They just fly off.
The tires just pop off.
Buemi
Like,
style.
I'm a head out. I'm a head out.
Buemi style, man. Just slam on the brakes and
No, next, Ferrari is downforce be like, hey, I'm gonna do wheelie boys, wheelie, vroom, vroom, vroom.
yeah, Vin Diesel.
Guess who's man. But yeah, it seems kind of disappointing to see the point that it's transcended to right now. The fact that they had a 1-2 in the first race to being chased down by Mercedes for the title.
Because I know this Ferrari isn't the core Ferrari that we saw in 17-18. There have been multiple personal changes or whatever, but then to see them mess up again, this is the same thing that happened, 5 years ago with Seb and Kimi. Except this time you have two fast drivers. You can't say Sainz is slow anymore. You can't say Sainz.
Did you just call Seb slow?
No, I didn't. I was comparing him to Kimi.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah, I would have been blocked.
I'm kidding. But yeah.
Blocked.
No, I mean, they don't have any excuse anymore. They have apparently, I mean, it's not like they've been concentrating only for 1 year. This project has been going on since 2020. So there is no excuses. You can't monumentally you can't screw up so monumentally. I mean, but they have found a way to do it. I would say they're the least, okay, you know what, actually? The least consistent team on the grid, Scuderia Ferrari.
True.
They are the least
they
consistent.
look like they're heroes one day and they're zeros the next. They turn out to be heroes in heroes and zeros in the same race.
No, I'm like, no shit. I mean, suddenly one race, Leclerc is spinning in Imola. Suddenly he's winning in this race. Suddenly he crashes here. Suddenly his engine goes off. Suddenly
you
wins,
can't
he
be
gets
a top.
out of nowhere.
Exactly. It's a top. This metaphor has been used before in the podcast. It's a top car in a midfield team. Like
literally.
I mean, the drivers also. I mean, after seeing Sainz and Leclerc's performances, I mean, last year they were the most consistent driver pairing, and now they look.
Bring back Seb and Kimi into this car. Bring them back, and they'll wrap up the championship within 3 more races. Bring them into this car.
I mean, at this point, why not?
No joke.
At this point, why not? But yeah, I mean, last year they were the most consistent driver pairing. This year, well, I would say they were 5th or 6th best.
Yeah.
They're definitely like, I don't know. Maybe the pressure and expectation of being in a championship winning car is getting to them. Like this car can win a championship.
Bring this man into this overall. Huh?
Nice to flex.
Get this man back here.
Nice.
Huh?
Nice iPhone flex.
Bro, some old phone like this.
I know. But yeah.
But
I mean, yeah, bring I think a good driver will be able to win a championship in this car. So yeah.
So I wouldn't say, I think the regular topic that we have, Ferrari versus Red Bull, may not continue from the next episodes because there may not be a fight.
It might be Ferrari versus Mercedes. Who knows?
Yeah, Ferrari versus Mercedes, 100%.
Who knows? I mean,
Um,
Ferrari are way quicker than Mercedes. I'll give you that. But the way it's going, Mercedes. I mean, with the way Mercedes
Mercedes,
are
man,
building this
how are they
strategy,
doing this? But we will get
it's
to
the brain
Mercedes
power.
later.
It's the brain
Next
power.
topic. Yeah, no. Next topic, where a bit of an observational topic of mine. It is drivers are not failing Ferrari. Ferrari is failing their drivers. Now, let me give you certain drivers who've come in recent past who've come to
Okay, yeah.
Ferrari and who've failed to win the championship with them.
Hmm.
Fernando Alonso, Sebastian Vettel. I mean, Kimi Räikkönen did win it once, but only once. It's not like won it multiple times. So I would also put in Kimi Räikkönen. You can't, Felipe Massa. You can't have top class drivers like this coming into the team with by winning championship before, coming in and
I
losing.
think Massa got unlucky. He's a peak.
Massa,
but
yeah,
post
exactly.
that he
did not
wasn't
win.
quick either. He wasn't particularly quick.
No driver amongst any of these wasn't quick. And that's why I'm getting to my point. You can't win championships before, come in here, and then, okay, I mean, it's not like Massa and Kimi won championship, but I'm just saying, like, they were the material. You can't be that material, come to Ferrari, and then say, you failed Ferrari. I mean, the drivers failed Ferrari. You were just not quick enough. You can't have Sebastian Vettel, who won the championship in 2013, come and be slow in 2015 or 2008. You don't lose pace. You can't lose pace. You can't have Fernando Alonso.
Okay, yeah. I mean, yeah.
You can't. You can't. It's impossible. It's not like you forget to press throttle and brake. It makes no sense. Ferrari are the ones who are failing the drivers. Sebastian Vettel, 2017, 2018, reliability, team strategies, car, power, all absolute zero. There's no passion, there's no aggression, there's no effing mindset. So I'm just saying, Fernando Alonso.
There's only
He pushed that car to the
master plan.
Bro, my boy pushed that car beyond what it was supposed to be.
Yeah.
He pushed that car from a midfield to championship, where he was supposed to win a championship. Felipe Massa got unlucky. Kimi Räikkönen was given an absolute shite of a car. It was an extremely
Which year are you
bad.
talking about? Which year?
2009.
Oh, 2009 was bad, man. 2009.
Exactly, but apparently he failed the team. That's the
he didn't.
That's
the
narrative that goes
the car
on.
was terrible. The car
Exactly.
He only won one race. The car was absolutely terrible.
Literally,
and this was peak Kimi.
Literally.
This was peak Kimi, by the way. It wasn't,
Exactly.
It wasn't some shit Kimi that we.
So, and a new name to the list now, I guess. Charles Leclerc.
Carlos Sainz.
Of Carlos Sainz. 2 drivers back into the list that Ferrari have failed. Ferrari continuously fail to deliver. They aren't delivering the point that they used to during the Michael Schumacher times. During the times of Michael Schumacher.
I mean, it's a team that is so, they have iron walls. You can't look past them, and it's not like it's the transparent. We don't have no idea what's going on at Ferrari. The Maranello have always been like that. They've been ironclad with what's going on behind the scenes. Even in the Schumacher days, and we know now what happened in the Schumacher days. But in the Schumacher days, no one knew what was going on. Everyone knew they were fast.
Exactly.
That's it. Ross Brown, Jean Todt. We knew about those guys. Ferrari, we know Matteo Binotto is at the head, but we don't know the politics that are going on inside because it's Ferrari, man. You can't have Ferrari without politics, and we have no idea.
And one more thing that I think, which I feel is why certain drivers falter and not win the championship. That toxic environment within Scuderia Ferrari, that toxic pressure within them to perform, to apparently uphold
but in response to this, I'll tell you, isn't it in any team a pressure to perform? I mean, you think there's
Scuderia Ferrari pressure is different.
You think there's no pressure to, but then okay, it is different. But then you think that being in the sport, okay, let's look at the drivers who've come through, who've driven for the team. You look at, okay, Raikkonen. Raikkonen's been in the sport for ages, man. He's driven for McLaren before he joined Ferrari. He knows about pressure. You've got Alonso. Who else? I mean, he's battled with Michael Schumacher. He knows pressure. Sebastian Vettel, come on. He's been in the sport for a while. He knows pressure. You've got Leclerc.
Exactly.
Leclerc.
You're just proving my point even more. You're proving my point even more. They know pressure, but they still came under the pressure.
Leclerc, he's a Ferrari driver academy, through and through, Ferrari boy through and through. He knows what it's like. So I don't think pressure is a factor because they know how to handle it clearly. I mean, these drivers.
Do you think Vettel losing it in Hockenheim isn't pressure? Do you think Alonso not being able to be consistent during his championship days?
No, I felt. I mean, to an extent, you could say it is pressure, but then it is also that unnecessary thing to push harder. Why did Vettel break that 5 meters later? And when you have
don't remind, man.
When you have when you have even today, why did Leclerc need to push in that lap? He was anyways quicker than Max going through the lap. He was going to get ahead of Max. I mean, there was no reason to push. So why did he push? These drivers are used to it. I mean, I think these drivers are used to the pressure that comes with the sport. And maybe that's
that is just one of the characteristics that I give. I'm just saying, in general, there is this toxic environment. Ferrari, I think, you drive a Ferrari, there's an instant and an innate sense of toxicity within the environment, which is
I think it's the politics.
100% politics. So, so Ferrari apparently being the greatest team of all time, this, that, push, posh, everything, but are delivering a car which can't move forward for, continuously for 3 races. So where does that make any sense? God knows. So Ferrari needs to start changing. They have world-class drivers want to drive for them, but world-class drivers also, I can give it in writing, also would want to leave them after a point of time, because they probably realize that it's not the team that they knew. It's not the same Michael Schumacher team. So they need to start changing up things. I would say,
I think they've changed.
People may say that
they have changed up things. It's not the same core we saw 5 years ago.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. 2020 is when they changed it up.
But I think
still though, man.
Yeah, okay, it's not the same core, but I don't know. Something has. It's like glass ceiling. They get close. They get close. Let's admit it. They've gotten close to winning a championship, but then they're not able to crack the glass ceiling. I think that's the toughest thing for any individual or organization to figure out. Like personally, for me in my career as well, to figure out that glass ceiling and a way to push through it. It's incredibly tough, So we can't sit here and try to guess what's behind that iron wall that is the Maranello. But yeah, I mean, Ferrari need to put it all together. They have the pieces, on his day, Leclerc is the best driver in the world. On their day, Ferrari are the best team in the world. And on their
untouchable.
On their day, Carlos Sainz and Charles Leclerc seem like the best driver pairing in the world. But those days need to come together more consistently.
Exactly. But at the same time, Ferrari also seemed like the most rookie team of the world. Ferrari, like today's strategy with Carlos Sainz. Ferrari also seemed like the most indecisive team in the world. Ferrari also seemed like the most confused team in the world in some certain times. Ferrari also seems like they're more. It's not driver oriented. It doesn't seem like. I mean, look at Vettel, man. He came with full passion, singing after every win, and it's like the driver actually had it, bro. The drivers have it when they go there. But look at post Hungary in 2018. That car, Jesus Christ, I don't understand. How can it be like so different? I mean, it was the same. I'm just saying Mercedes move forward. That straight line speed was nowhere anymore. So they need to figure their stuff out. They need to get back everything. Okay, let's actually think about it. When was the last championship that Ferrari won?
2007.
Before Kimi.
Before
No,
Kimi
that's what I'm
was
saying.
Schumacher.
Before Kimi.
Before Kimi was
Schumacher days, right?
Yeah.
So what were they doing from 2004 to 2000? Not 2004,
1999.
2002. No,
2000
1999 to 2000. No, correct. No, 2004 is when he last won his championship.
Yeah,
What
2000
were
to
they doing from
2000.
1999?
Oh, back then, okay,
2004 was the last
I
year.
don't think it's fair to compare F1 then and F1 now.
No, I'm
They
just
had
saying. No, I'm just
unlimited
saying.
testing back then.
2004. No, wait.
No. They had
2005,
unlimited
2006.
testing back then. The thing was, there were reports that
No.
if there was a Grand Prix in Spain, Michael would fly out to Maranello before the day gets over to test extra, and then come back to Spain in like a short period of time.
No, I'm just. No, I'm saying thinking about the psychology of the team.
They could spend, Ferrari.
100%.
So I don't think it's fair to compare that era to this era of Ferrari.
No, I'm just saying the psychology. 2005, 2006, they fought Fernando for the title. It's not.
They had a contract with Bridgestone, which kind of, limited their capacity to challenge. Yeah,
exactly, literally. 2007, Kimi won by a single point. So they were competitive.
Little bit of luck.
Little bit of luck. 2008,
Massa
Massa should have won.
They won the constructors.
Yeah, they were unlucky. They won the constructors. 2009 is when it all went down big time. So let's think about it. 2009, Massa and Raikkonen. What was that team? What was that team? That car.
It was basically two world champions in that. Basically.
Literally.
A world champion and a almost world champion by a lap.
You can call them world champion.
By half a lap.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So 2010, they
then
failed
obviously
to
Massa did have that crash, which they had to put.
Yeah, where the spring hit him.
Yeah, they put Fisichella, and Fisichella. He was not good. And then came 2010, where Vettel did it. Like, I mean, Alonso was in the better car.
Alonso was in the better car, but they failed to deliver again. They had, I wouldn't say they had reliability problems, but they were as they're like this year, they were inconsistent in 2010.
But but then 2010 was extremely. It was like peak competitiveness. You know what I mean?
True. You had 6 drivers in for the championship.
Yeah, exactly. So like at that point.
No, I'm just saying.
Bound to happen. I mean, Vettel was inconsistent as well. He led the championship for the first time at Abu Dhabi. So you can't really. It was a abnormal, sort of championship.
No, I'm just saying. Suddenly they'll win. Suddenly they'll come. It's not like they come 6th. Suddenly they'll come 10th. Suddenly they'll come 2nd.
Yeah, I mean, but that was the nature of the championship, I'd say. Okay, but moving on. Okay,
True.
2011.
2011.
Red Bull was Red Bull.
Bad car.
Bad car.
Red Bull
and
was
Red Bull.
wings out. Literally.
Yeah, 2012.
2012.
I mean, Vettel did his thing.
Vettel was bad in 2012 if you actually think about it.
Oh yeah, I know. I think Alonso was better. Alonso was just better in the first half. It was better in the first half, but then, post Spa Vettel was really good. Honestly, some of the best.
That's what I'm saying. Alonso was pushing that car beyond what. Look at how bad. Okay, again, like, no offense to Massa, but look at how far off Massa was.
Yeah, Alonso was belting that thing like.
I'm not even kidding, man.
In Bangalore slang, he was belting that thing, man.
Belt macha, full scene.
Full feels so.
But like
that Valencia win and all that. But yeah, okay. 2013 was shit. 2014 they got even worse. 2014
was the car where it understays and overstays
at the same time. Yeah. Basically,
2015 was when. Oh no, bro.
Yeah.
2015 was when Seb joined. They did decent.
Boost. Yeah, slight boost.
He won in
2016. They didn't win at all. Like.
Yeah, exactly. So
I mean,
2015 was
Vettel had his driving errors as well. So some driving
Yeah.
errors, some strategy errors. Again, it's just not piecing together the puzzle. 2017 and 18 we've spoken about. 19 was bad, illegal.
19 was bad. 19 was bad.
And
20 was
20
20. Oh,
was
21 was a bit of a resurgence.
yeah, I mean decent.
So it shows they haven't been on they haven't been this high before.
Sine wave, man. Sine wave.
Yeah, it's literally a sine wave, but now they've peaked. They're
This is
at
that
their
peak.
peak
They're
right
gonna
now.
fall now. Next year's gonna be shit.
Exactly. They're going to do another 2-3.
Prediction,
They're
you've
going
heard
to
it
do this year,
here
next
first.
year well.
You've heard it here first. Ferrari are gonna
2024 Ferrari last P10 in the constructors. Who knows? Leclerc leaves, goes to. Anyways, let's not do that.
Okay, yeah.
But look at the trend. They haven't been the most consistent team. They haven't delivered with the best car since Michael's days. They haven't been the team which has been giving, which probably.
I think best
I
car
know
is
the Italian
arguable
anthem.
because 2012 they had a really good car. 2010 also they had a really good car.
Yeah, really good, but not the best. It's not.
It was
not
tough
good
to
enough
be
for
the
the
best.
championship.
It was in 2010 it was really tough to be the best.
At 2010,
there was
that
no
one scene
best
it
car.
was.
2010 there was no best car. Okay, I mean, okay,
Best driver would
Red
be-
Bull were really good, but they were very inconsistent. They were superbly inconsistent. 2012, I mean, okay, Red Bull arguably was in the better car. But yeah,
So I mean, Fratalia, Italia, full sing, but no passion in that car. That engine probably you'll have to put more Fratalia, Italia into that engine.
yeah.
They seem inconsistent. Drivers will come and go, but people say drivers will come and go and Ferrari will continue. But I would say Ferrari.
Drivers come and drivers go, but the bad luck stays forever. Robert Frost. Robert Frost.
Man be spitting out quotes out here. We're
All
an
that
educational
English
channel as well, you
knowledge,
know.
yeah. What? What?
We're an educational channel here as well. We're doing English classes.
True. English tuition.
But yeah, I think they need to change. People say drivers will come and go and Ferrari will continue. But for drivers to continue to come, you
If
need to
Ferrari
show
needs
a
to
bit
continue,
of,
they need a championship.
yeah. They need a
Ultimately, they're a company, and then the company looks like, hey, boss. Fun fact: you haven't won a championship in 14 years. My son is 14 years old. I mean,
ಏನ್ ಗುರು ಇದು
yeah.
ಕಾರ್ ರಟ್ಪಟ್ ಅಂತ ಮಾಡತ್ತೆ ಫೋರ್ಡೆ ಹೋಗಲ್ಲ ಅದು ಏನ್ ಗುರು
Yeah. How about I cut your budget by, I don't know, half.
this much amount.
Yeah, exactly. And there is a budget cap, which is a good sign for Ferrari actually, because they don't need to be scared of the lack of funding or whatever. They can continue, but then still, like, they can go under the budget cap, you know. So that's definitely that. And
But I think we've covered it well.
Yeah.
We'll move on to the next. But I think we can just wrap up by saying Ferrari
and Manchester United are pretty relatable. Pretty. That's what I leave it at. For you football fans out there.
But yeah, I think we can move on to the next year, 2023. Which team should focus to next year? Is it the right time to start focusing now? Haas have turned their focus to 2023. McLaren have given up on this year.
Really?
Yeah. Zach Brown has come out saying that
I swear, Haas's focus is never on this year. It's always next year, man. I've been hearing this since 2016. Okay, no. 2017, our car's gonna be bang on. And then they make a shit box. But this year
McLaren,
they've
actually hit it on the nail. Yeah,
that's because of the Mazepin cash. That's because Haas simply because of the Mazepin cash, man.
McLaren have given up on. I wouldn't say given up on this year. They feel they have done enough development for the car and they have the updates ready. It's ready to be executed.
P9 ಸಾಕಪ್ಪ.
ಅಷ್ಟೇ ನಮಗೆ ಅಷ್ಟೇ. Alpine have said that in the next few coming races they want to stop focusing on this.
I think it's the budget cap
because
picture.
But exactly, that's what I'm going to say, because I feel the budget cap is hitting them each. Like they're very close to it, so I don't think they can afford to spend a lot of money anymore on this year per se.
I mean, they need to allocate stuff for next year as well, right?
Exactly, but one team which I feel this may sound different from me, one team which I actually think is going to fight for the championship next year. Can you guess, Aditya?
Aston Martin. Who else?
No, I actually feel it's going to be Alpine. I'm not even kidding. I think Fernando Alonso is going to get back into the race.
WDC. You heard it
I'm
here
not even
first.
kidding, bro. I mean, I have a strange feeling they've been the team which has been on the up consistently. Ferrari have had up down up down. They've been doing some mad skill. Mercedes have been stagnant. Red Bull have been slight up. Alpine have actually shown gradual increase from 2017 to 2021. They've been showing good increase. They've been showing good passion. They've been showing a good
Good
amount of
aggression.
effort into good aggression, good mindset.
Yes.
But yeah, so I feel Alpine, it's a good decision that turned their focus to 2023. Aston Martin are also saying that in the next few races they're going to turn their focus to 2023, but I cannot give it up hope. I'll be honest.
No, they should just
The
turn
past
their
year,
focus on. Like, just switch it on.
man, I don't understand.
Just focus. Just like focus.
I was so excited. You had Martin Whitmarsh, this guy, that guy. They poached him from Mercedes. They poached a guy from Red Bull. They poached everybody from everywhere. And I think that the team is now clicking because Lawrence Stroll is at the head. He wants quick success. He doesn't understand in progression.
If I'm pouring $500,000, you got to look at it from his point of view as well. You know?
Oh, by the way, I forgot to say this. There are big reports that Vettel is retiring this year.
Let's go! Yes. No, dude. Why am I celebrating as a Vettel fan? Well, I don't want to see him P14 all the time. You know. I mean, he can do his thing now. He can do farming. He can help save the bees. He can be all LGBTQ and all that. You know. He can do what he loves, which is not drive for Aston Martin.
But apparently, Ted Kravitz has, the fact that Ted, you know Ted Kravitz, so he has information that
everyone knows Ted.
The fact that Seb has been bringing his kids to each race so far. He's been doing a lot of helmet swaps.
Helmet swaps? What?
Swaps.
Oh.
Yeah. So he's been asking each driver to do a helmet swap by the end of the year. Quote to Max Verstappen: Can we do a helmet swap by the end of the year? So not just that. In his mind. The French.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, in the French Grand Prix interview as well, he said the team has an intention to continue. He didn't say the team and I, which has been picked out a lot. So I think it's pretty close to it.
He's doing his best. Okay, Vettel's on a. He's
actually, let me actually bring this point. Wait, shush. I may sound delusional. Sebastian Vettel is easy top 3 drivers of the season so far. Hear me out. That car is absolute Vanti. It is so bad.
But then Stroll.
He's pulling piece.
Stroll outraced him.
What? Only this race? But look at the previous races. Stroll is 17th. Vettel is 8th. Vettel has been doing 8th, 7th, 10th, 6th. He's been pulling these performances. I would, people say Checo Perez, he's the greatest in tire conservation. You know who's the best this year? I read reports. It's Sebastian Vettel. He's been pulling stints that nobody's been pulling this year so far. He's been taking that tire to another level. He's been driving to another level. Some Mercedes, Red Bull, or Ferrari, one of these teams have to bring him in, or else I don't see the point. I don't see why he would continue racing.
If he's not driving for a top, because he could do this for Alpine and he'll finish on the podium once a season, twice a season.
Exactly.
So
until unless, let's think about it. Mercedes are not going to sack Russell unless Hamilton retires. That is gone.
Hamilton
Red Bull
seem like a possibility with the Mercedes.
Yeah, exactly.
Again. If Mercedes went down, I think Hamilton would have gone along with Vettel out of the sport. But Mercedes are going like this, so why would Hamilton quit? Plus, it's
Red Bull have signed
brand for Hamilton.
Yeah, that's right. It's really important for them. Exactly. talking about Red Bull have signed a contract with Perez, but there is an exit clause. So if Perez continues to drive the way he drove in France,
No, but then
maybe.
he's been driving well. I mean,
Which race?
he's been a good number 2.
Vettel will be better number 2.
he'll be number 1. That's the problem.
Yeah, he'll be actually. So until and unless Red Bull really want to sack Perez, I don't see the possibility.
I think
of
he's
doing
done
that.
with Ferrari. Ferrari is like the toxic ex. Like
Ferrari, that's what I was going to say. Until
burn
and
the
unless
bridge.
Ferrari kare macha, ಅಯ್ಯೋ 50 billion ಕೊಡ್ತೀನಿ ನಾನು ಬಾರೋ ಫುಲ್ ಸೀಟ್ ರೆಡಿ ಇದೆ ರೆಡಿ ಇಂಜಿನ್ ರೆವಿಂಗ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀನಿ ನಾನು ಫುಲ್ ಫಾಸ್ಟ್ ಹೋಗುತ್ತೆ ಇವಾಗ ಫುಲ್ ಫಾಸ್ಟ್.
You know that RX-100, no? Those RX-100 boys. That's how the engine will be. Full sound, no speed.
But until and unless Ferrari want to sack Sainz, because Sainz hasn't seemed to be at the best right now. He clearly seems to be. Yeah, unless they sack Sainz, then until and unless Leclerc leaves Ferrari, I don't see Vettel. So I think it's more or less goodbye to. At this stage, I think it's more or less goodbye to Sebastian Vettel.
Which I'm happy for him. I would like to see him at WEC. I would like to see him, drive the hypercar.
Yeah, bro, he'll smoke them, man.
Yeah,
bro, he's gonna smoke them.
No, but yeah. But like
Formula E?
No. Formula E is.
He can push his go electric, his save the environment campaign.
Now, where's the talent, man? Formula E. I mean, you can't have a 4-time world champion and some electric shit.
He's been linked to McLaren.
No offense to Formula E, which is coming to India.
Yeah, no offense to Formula E. But he's been linked to McLaren. He's been linked to replacing Ricciardo.
No, but I think they'll take Colton Herta. They'll take
Colton Herta, or they'll probably poach Albon. Jehan, Albon. Yeah, quite a few drivers in for that seat. Joe, quite a few drivers.
Joe, yeah.
So I think it's more or less. Yeah, Joe has been linked to McLaren because of paise.
Yeah,
both paise uske paas.
But Joe is also decent, man. He's been consistent.
Oh, Joe, man. Yeah, man. I actually like him.
Best. Like, okay, qualifying is not the best. Qualifying is definitely not the best, but
race full ಆಗ್ತಾನೆ ಅವನು full scenes.
Yeah, it is pretty good.
But yeah, let's move on to the next topic. Are we seeing a different Max from last? Are we seeing a more? I don't give a shit.
I'll tell you what I'm saying. I'll tell you what I'm saying from Max. He's had a full year of tension, like the closest championship fight we've had in 20 years. Okay, 20-30 years, And then now he looks at his competition and just chill. He knows he's the best driver in the world, which he is. Okay, he's number 1 driver consistently in every weekend. He knows his car is excellent. His team is the best team in the world, and he's being prioritized. So I think he's just chilling, man. And he doesn't have, he doesn't have real competition. As we said, it's Ferrari versus Ferrari. They're sinking a hole in their own ship. And Verstappen's just chilling. He knows he's a world champion, and he's going to get the second one with quite some ease. I think it's the same thing with Vettel. Vettel's first championship, you could see him, he was flustered. He was really aggressive and, made mistakes. But in 2011, we saw domination. So I think that's what we're seeing. It's all the same levels of domination, obviously, because of the rule changes and whatever. But yeah, I think Max is just calm. He's relaxed. He's confident, He doesn't have...
Yeah, look at last year, bro. He was lunging for every small gap he found. But now he's not. He's like, take for example Austria. He's just leaving the door open. Like, he
knows his position, and I think he understands the situation a lot better. Like, he's just so much more mature.
That's what I'm saying. No, I think he can wrap up the championship by. Let me just see the calendar months. Is it Singapore, one of the last few races? Just give me a second. Till then, Aditya. What's up, bro?
What's up?
Till then. What's up, bro?
Till then, what's up? I'm not sure. That is one topic I'd like to talk about. If we finish this Verstappen topic quickly, which I think we will, I like to talk about one general topic. Pretty interesting actually. Coming from a coming from a fan that's been watching F1 for 14 years. I think it's a popular opinion actually on Twitter and Reddit. What I have.
USA is the fourth last race. I think he's going to wrap it up in. He's going to say America.
America.
He's going to be
Texas,
wrapping it up in
everything's
America.
bigger in Texas. The Bulls. America.
God bless America. God bless us. God bless America. Yeah, he's going to be wrapping it up in America. I have a strange feeling in Austin. Austin is where the championship is going to end.
Austin. Okay.
Watch your. I'll tell you the last 5 races. The last 6 races. Abu Dhabi, then comes Brazil, then Mexico, then USA, then Suzuka, then Singapore, then Italy. Where do you think he's gonna wrap?
Suzuka, historic.
He's gonna wrap it up in Suzuka itself.
Historic, you know.
Oh.
Because Suzuka is known to be the title. It's decided titles a couple of times, and it's a sign of domination. You know, if you wrap it up at Suzuka, you go to the inn and have a sake. That's the tradition, Suzuka tradition. You have the sake. Yeah.
But yeah. So what was the thing that you were going to talk about?
Too many races. I've been watching F1 for 14 years and I'm sick and tired of races, man. Part of the reason why we've not done this podcast, I mean, as we said in the start, it's just boring at one point. Like 23 races. There's no football, man. Like, I mean, football as well, after a point, you don't watch, you know, your FA Cup matches or whatever, you know. You just stick to your Champions League and Premier League matches. you can skip out on an FA Cup match, but like a 23 race is just too much. And there's plans for making a 25 race season in the near future, you know, Kailami and...
You've lost one viewer, I'll say that.
Yeah. Account me along. I won't be watching a lot of the races either.
And not just that, dude. I may sound like a soft fan, but bro, it's a 2-horse race every season, and at some stages it's like a 1-horse race, and I don't see the point.
No, I mean, I don't see the point where, you know, you have like, it's not just the drivers. You have 200 mechanics per team being away from their family for half a year, no breaks at all. They're just continuously put under the pressure. And these guys, they arrive the earliest and leave the latest. Okay, these mechanics are like, they're crazy, man. They arrive on the Wednesday, they unpack, and they leave late Sunday night to the next race. It's just like crazy, honestly. Like, where's the worker safety? Where's the worker health? I mean, there's so much talk about mental health and all that. I mean, screw the drivers. The drivers they have their whatever therapist and all that, but like the bloody workers, you know, the guys, the TV directors, the TV crew who travel each race. What about them? You know?
Yeah, and not just that. I think after a point of time, again, I may sound dreary and boring, but it starts to get monotonous. Honestly starts to get monotonous.
Honestly, I don't want to see a race in Las Vegas. Like, I don't care about some city in America at night just because it has a lot of casinos and it's iconic and whatever. Like,
is Vegas this year or next year?
Next year. See, at this point, there's so many races we don't even know what is this year and next year.
Yeah.
I mean, I think
and the fact that and not just and the fact that races like, okay, let's be honest, this race was not boring. Okay,
it was a normal race.
France, the French Grand Prix is actually pretty interesting. If it's actually a pretty interesting race.
It's strategic and whatnot. Yeah,
exactly. So races like France, Spa, Monaco, I think Hungary is also under the axe. These kind of Grand Prix are being threatened. Their positions are being threatened only because Vegas is getting their more money. Only because races like
Saudi Arabia.
Exactly.
I don't care about some Jeddah Corniche circuit, man. Give me the actual tracks. And you know, I believe in the fact that like the lesser number of races, the more value the race has, you know. Like 100%. If there is only 18 races a year, it's not a lot of races.
You're screwed. Exactly.
Yeah, 5. You drop. I mean, I think the cap should be 18. The ideal season is 15 to 18 races.
Yeah.
And bring in races in Asia, man. Like we had races in Asia, we had races in India. We had races. I guarantee you there'll be a crowd in India. India has work to be done. That there is a lot of behind the stuff. I think that's a separate episode in itself. Why the whole Indian racing scene. India, you know, you have Malaysia, yeah, and obviously Indonesia as well. China.
The Indonesian circuit is Hanoi, Vietnam.
Vietnam got scrapped because they couldn't afford it.
That's what I'm saying. Why? I mean, people say it was a boring circuit, but bro, if you look at F1 right now, it is Europe central. It is based in Europe.
Yeah.
You have barely any races, and I mean, I wouldn't say barely, but you have barely any races
in the Bernie era was getting towards Asia. Obviously, Liberty took over. And
because he understood that the viewership is here.
There was a lot of stuff that happened in the world in between then, but like, yeah, I mean, there's just too many races. It's just oversaturation is definitely not good. It's not good.
Fine, if it was races, if it were interesting races and interesting circuits, then fine. I'm a little convinced. Oh, who cares about some friggin' Vegas, some loser Miami, man? It's not interesting.
Yeah, definitely.
Random Jeddah. Okay, fine. Oh, people may say Jeddah was interesting. Bro, that is there. When you watch F1, I've been watching since 2010. When you watch F1, you watch for the history of the track. You don't watch because they can go at 3:30. There is history, there is heritage between each track. We have behind each track. You don't watch Jeddah
because... It's not just the heritage, I would say. It's just the quality of racing. And Jeddah is a dangerous
tracks tracks like Spa, tracks like Monaco have always delivered. Spa's always delivered. And they want to scrap it because they're not getting enough money. Hockenheim, bring back Hockenheim.
Legendary track. Hockenheim.
If anything, bring back
the Nürburgring is literally, it's the sports, hub.
Literally, the Nordschleife. Get back the Nordschleife.
I mean, Nordschleife is a bit unrealistic, but at least the Südschleife,
I'm just saying.
The normal ring, the Nürburgring GP track.
Yeah, no, I'm just saying. Get back those kind of tracks. Some Qatar GP, some
exactly.
Jeddah GP.
Yeah,
scrap Abu Dhabi. No car. Scrap Abu Dhabi.
Abu Dhabi is, I mean, it's a mad track. So I don't know where the sport's headed, to be honest.
One more track where there should be thinking South Korea.
Nah, South Korea. Bro, they don't have any money.
South Korea is actually decent.
South Korea, it was good, but they've ran out of money. The whole development.
No, I'm just saying those kind of tracks should be brought back.
Perhaps, yeah, but yeah, I think F1 is growing at a rapid pace, but then there is there was this king. We had a lesson, we had a bloody poem from an English class. It's turned into a the Ozymandias. Yes, grew too big, grew too egoistic, and all that was left was rubbles and like debris and whatnot. So I think F1 is growing big. It's growing rapidly, but then they should also curb. They got to make it sustainable. They got to keep everyone's interest in mind and not just viewership and the new fans' interest as well. Because we've been watching this for 14. I've been watching this for 15 years, basically my whole life. And if I get bored of races, it's gotten to a point where things need.
I'll be honest. I'm trying to watch MotoGP now.
Yeah, true. I've been trying to get into other sports like NBA and all that. So if you have any NBA tips, please let me know. Like I'm
trying to get into MotoGP. I mean, I know a few pilots, Marc Marquez. You have Alex Espargaro. Then you have Rins.
Yeah.
You have what's his name? Who's the reigning champion? Quartararo.
Yeah, indeed.
You have
Jack Miller.
Jack Miller. Bro, it's actually, and here's the thing about MotoGP. The top 10 guys usually fight for wins.
Yeah, basically. I've been here in the MotoGP. Whenever I could watch it, I watch it. But
what's his name? Who's that fellow? Martin.
Jorge Martin. I think. Yeah, Jorge Martin, of course. Yeah.
Jorge Martin. So MotoGP does have a excitement. Man, I mean, the way they go, bro. A little boring F1, macha. But yeah, only two people will do skill.
Yeah, I mean, F1 needs to. I mean, I remember Liberty Media. They came into the sport telling that every race should be like a Super Bowl event. Like, you know what I mean? Like all the drums parading and all that. But you can't have a Super Bowl. You can't have 25 Super Bowl events in a year, right? You can't have 25 World Cup finals.
And even
It's
if
just
you
going
do,
to
it
lose
gets
its
boring.
meaning. Yeah, it loses its meaning. I mean, a diamond is precious because it's rare, right? So
Exactly.
So yeah, I mean.
What's a full quote you're telling today?
Yes. I'm in the mood, man. I'm in the mood.
Mood for quotes, sir.
Yeah. I have no other. I can't be in the mood for anything else at the moment. So quotes
Sounds
would have
wrong.
to. Quotes have to
Okay.
do. Quotes have to do. But yeah,
I think we've wrapped up this episode well. It's been a good comeback, I hope, from us.
yeah.
A worthy comeback.
Hopefully we smash the view record, the view count record. You know, go 7 billion views. Let's go. Like, share, subscribe. Yeah.
We have transcended into macha when subscribe code macha.
Yeah.
I red icon is there.
Yeah. And bell notification icon. Yes.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you guys. See you later. Ciao.